So if you don't know what's going on, basically, Melanie Martinez was basically accused of raping her former best friend years ago. My immediate thought was, Melanie, that can't be Melanie. How? Thinking about it more, I think, like, her lyrics, murder, drugs, suicide, all kinds of fucked up shit, so I don't think that she would deliberately go out and, like, purposefully assault someone, but at the same time, I don't believe that she wouldn't have. Like, for example, when she wrote her, like, accusation or whatever, it sounded like, Melanie, like, it sounded to me like there was a misconception. So I don't think that if you read, you can just look up Melanie Martinez and it will be the first 1,000 articles there. If you read the story, I think there was a miscommunication, but as in the terms that Melanie didn't see that she was doing anything wrong per se. Like, she didn't think that she was going to push Timothy to the edge, and when she she was just trying to be convincing, like personally with my first girlfriend, she asked to kiss me every single day several times, and I was like, no, I'm not ready, please stop, and she never stopped. I never gave in, but at the same time, I thought about that when this occurred. And she didn't think she was doing anything wrong, and I can think the same thing that Melanie was thinking, but when it finally got to the chance when Timothy let her, she just felt like that it was like, yay, she's allowing me to do this. So when Melanie says that Timothy never said no, I think she means when she finally was able to do it, because Timothy wrote about how the night before she kept like saying like no, stop, no, and then like the second night she does the same thing or whatever, and Melanie, like, she wasn't being violent or anything about it. She like just kind of gradually was like, hey, please, thanks, and then Timothy was exhausted, so she just gave up. And yeah, yeah. My second part on this is that it's hard to know what to believe. I have, ever since 2012, during the night of her very first blind audition of the show, obviously it wasn't live, but the time it aired, I listened to her and her cover of Toxic. I loved it. I never stopped listening to her to this day. It's hard for me to come to terms that someone I've been idolizing and looking up to since I was 10, maybe even 9, I don't remember, could have done something like this. But at the same time, we also don't know how truthful it is. So Timothy writes a very convincing story, and I believe in what she wrote, for the most part. Like, I'm not saying that, like, she's false, I'm defending Melanie, because I'm not in any way, shape, or form. But, she there is no 100% proof, and I'm not defending Melanie at all, but it's like 2 to 10% of all rape allegations are false, which I'm not defending Melanie. I just want to get that straight. I'm not defending her. But I think she said that she didn't want to report Melanie, like, at the time it happened because like Melanie is a girl, and it's kind of like not a thing that people would believe, because I think it's like only 3% of rapes are committed by women. So she also felt like, because like she loved Melanie, like it was her best friend, and she didn't feel like it was like not a thing that she was able to do. But I think when she released the allegations or whatever, I feel like it was completely, I feel like she should have gone to the police before she went to Twitter. I think that fans should be aware of that this happened, but I also think that it's not okay for someone out of the blue who hasn't spoken to Melanie in years to just be like, hey, your idol is a rapist. So, like, it's hard for me to talk about just because I've idolized her since I was 10 years old, and to find out that, you know, the person who I've looked up to and admired since I was that young is a rapist, is not the best feeling in the world. I will still continue to listen to her music. I will still continue to listen to the new music she puts out. I will not see her in tour again. I will not buy any more merch. I will not wear any of the other merch that I have, unless it's like, unless like I literally do not have any more clean clothes and just need to wear it. I am taking my Melanie Martinez posters down. I don't want to represent her, but her music makes me happy. I do not stand for her or anything she's done, but her music is good. She has musical talent. You can't deny that. But I do not want to affiliate myself with the actions that Melanie Martinez has committed.